Hello everyone, and welcome to this video where I'm going to be teaching you exactly how to build email and SMS automation for your clients using GoHighLevel. So let's get started. So the first thing you need is obviously a GoHighLevel account. If you are interested in signing up with GoHighLevel or learning more about it, you can go check out my YouTube, and I've got more tutorials coming where I'm teaching you how to use this software. So if you're ready to sign up, you can go ahead and use my affiliate link down below. But nonetheless, let's get started. So what do we have to do here? How do we create email and SMS automation for your client's business or even for your business? So the first step is you need some form of a funnel, right? You need to actually be able to take people through a process that triggers this set of automated emails and texts. If we just have a bunch of emails and text built out, there's really no way to bring people into that system, so that's going to be our first step. So the first step is going to be to go to GoHighLevel and go to our funnels. And basically what you can do here is you can create a new funnel, or you can go to the template library where you can select basically a template for all of these different industries. So my industry has been real estate. It's been my industry since I started for the last 6 years. So I'm always pretty, I'm always going to choose real estate when it comes to these examples. And basically what you can do here is just choose one of these funnels. These are all pretty much the same, except there's maybe a little bit of a different headline or something like that. But basically you just check. I'll just pick this one here for the seller's guide. And I'm going to show you how to edit the funnel to make it look better. And then I'm going to show you how to create the email and text automation. So you just go down here, you agree this is a free template, and basically you just port it into your account. And so instantaneously you now have a funnel, okay? So now what we need to do is edit the funnel to actually make it look good. Just personally, I don't think this looks great. This wouldn't be something I would ever, provide a client or just kind of launch with ads, right? But they provide it, they give you the frame so you can kind of get an idea. And if you're just starting, there's just some little things you could do to make adjustments and make it look better. So I'm going to show you how we do that. So we just go here, click edit, and then click edit page. And the first thing that I always like to do is just eliminate. So wherever there's a place that I could kind of remove stuff and basically get it out of the way or just make it cleaner, that's going to be where I like to start. So in this particular example, my thing that I'm kind of thinking needs to be cleaned up is just the font. I don't really like the font. I don't really feel like this blue, or I have my blue blockers on so I can't see the color, but I don't really feel like we need this here. And if this is a lead generation funnel, obviously they didn't design this with, specialists, right, to actually, like myself, where I've invested, a lot of money into Facebook ads and stuff like that, where, this really wouldn't convert, right? It's nice that they provide it, but this isn't going to convert. So I'm going to show you how to design something that actually converts. So first thing we're going to do is remove this section. So so basically you can just delete it here, and the green is going to be the section editing. So now we've got it a lot more simplified here, and I'm going to remove this just because I don't really like, multiple things here, and I'm just going to simplify this here and turn this into two different columns. Or two different, columns here. So we're just going to put the image here. So there's going to be the logo. So we'll just start here, and we're just going to slowly kind of get this thing back where it needs to be. So I'm going to use my client's logo just because it's right there. And I'm going to shrink this to maybe 125, maybe 150 is good. I'm going to move this over to the left, And now we're already in a lot better of a position at this point. If it is a funnel, there's not really a need for a second column here. So you would just delete that and just kind of leave it as is. If you start designing funnels where you're linking to external pages and stuff like that, your conversion rate will go down, and you don't want that, especially if you're getting leads for a client, right? If you're designing a website, that's a different story and that's a different video. For this, we want leads, right? So that's kind of the first thing I'm going to do there. And then I'm going to do the same thing down here. So I'm going to just duplicate this section here and move it to the bottom. So it's kind of mirroring the, mirroring the bottom part of the page. And it looks like there's a little shadow here. So I'm just going to remove that and basically get that out of the way. So now we've kind of reset the frame. Okay, and now, the things I don't like here are going to be just the, just the font here and just the way the form looks, right? So what I'm going to do is just basically delete this section. I know I basically deleted the entire template, but that's just kind of how I'm going to show you how to do it. So you delete here. And if you're not ready to delete everything like this and follow along, you can still use the template and follow what I'm doing. But I'm going to remove the shadow here. So now we have basically our two building blocks. And I always just think of this stuff as like Legos. So you just want to build one clean block at a time and just kind of focus on that. So what I'm going to do is basically add a section here. So now we have our top section, our bottom section, and then our middle section. So I'm just going to go here and I'm going to add one column, and I'm basically going to put our headline. Then I'm going to click plus here and put our sub headline. So now we have, the general frame. And then, I'm just going to put a simple button here. Okay. And we're going to make it look better than that. But basically that's going to be the general frame of a landing page. You don't really need a lot of stuff. If you're designing something complicated, then yeah, you can do different things. But, we like to just keep it simple here on this channel. So I'm going to change the font to Roboto, or I don't really know how you actually say it. I've never said it out loud. But I always use that font. So I'm just going to use it, and I think Facebook and pretty much most of the social platforms use it. So I'm going to go to Roboto again, and now we kind of have, in my eyes, just something that looks a little bit cleaner, okay? And then we're going to go to custom font and change the font of the button, all right? And now we've got the general, frame of the actual landing page itself, right? So let's preview it just outside of the actual editor, just so we can kind of get an idea of how this is. So that's what we have right now, just these two simple things. Obviously this isn't, spaced out or anything like that, and it's pretty just plain and simple, right? So what we can do here is we can add a background image of if this is for real estate, you could do a house. And I have images of houses here, and so I can add that back here. And basically what I can do is I can add in what you would call like a divider, and that way we'll create some space so we actually have the ability to kind of see that background image. And I'm just going to remove the color here on the line, so then it's just, you can't see anything. And I just like to duplicate it multiple times to kind of just get a feel for the actual format of the page being on point. So we're going to just go here. Oops, that's the button part of it. And we probably don't need all these. So there we go, right? The other thing you can do, which I personally like better, is you can delete the section here, and you can actually just make this the background image. So I'll show you how we do that. That way everything's formatted perfectly into one page. versus if you have two sections here, it kind of looks weird. So you'll see what I mean. So if we go here, we can remove this background image. Okay, and now you can see everything's nice and centered, but then we can go to settings, then we can do background, and then we can add the image here. So now it's in the background of everything, and then we just make this white, and now the pages or the photos formatted a lot better. Still looks blurry. You're gonna have that issue just if you make the landing page a full image, right? So I personally tend to leave things white, but you could add the image right there. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to add in our pop-up. So what's going to happen is when the lead clicks on this actual button, it's going to go to a pop-up. So we're just going to move this to open pop-up, and then we're going to edit our pop-up here. So we're just going to add our one column, same structure, so headline, subheadline, and then we're going to add our form, and we're just going to use this demo form that I have for now. Okay. And the other thing I like to do here is on the pop-up settings, just remove the padding at the bottom and the padding at the top. That way it's nice and clean. And yeah, then it basically just, it's nice and clean. So we're going to leave that there for now. Just kind of open, preview this, get a better feel for it, see what we need to do. So the cool thing is now that this image is, in the background here, people can't scroll, right? If you add this image or you add this section down there, kind of looks funky. So there's some stuff we need to do here, but you'll see it'll come to life once we, add these other elements here. So what I'm going to do here is just kind of shorten up this section, make sure that the padding on the section is just kind of tighter. I like it to be I don't like it to be super, super wide. I think if it's too big, it doesn't look as good. So I just like to remove this stuff and kind of thin it out right there. And then that I won't do that. Yeah, I'll do that right there. So to me, that's a nice landing page size header, just because you want the main thing to kind of be the main thing. So I'm cool with that. That section's pretty much done. So now what we need to do, and you can do this when you're starting, but you basically want to find kind of the page that you're modeling, right? If you don't really have a page that you're modeling, you're not gonna really have an idea as to what you're doing, right? You're just making a page at that point. So once you know what you're modeling, then you can kind of build from there. So what we can do is we can just go to, I can go to like my website, right, and go to case studies, and we can basically build the page to be like this, right? So what I'm going to do, or I'm just going to take all the words from here, and so that way I don't have to like think of something to make. So I'm just going to put case studies here, and I'm going to put, subheadline here, and then I'm just gonna copy this here. And so now we have a section, right, a header section or a headline, a subheadline, an image, and then more text and a button. So that's going to be the model we follow. So let's move this up, right? Now that we kind of know, okay, this is what we're doing. So now we have this section here. So what we need to do here is delete these dividers, and basically we are going to add in these second columns now. Okay, so you're going to go here, add 2 more columns. Now we have our image, and now we can add our paragraph, which is just all this text, right? And then what we need to do is, you'll notice on the image, I moved everything to the left. So we just go here, align the text, and let's make it white, and let's make it bigger so we can kind of see the actual body of the text. and get it probably right around there for now. Okay, and then the other thing we need to do is just add the button, and we can just make this what you would call fluid or fill width, I mean, so that way it's, you know, the whole size of this little section. And now we kind of have the body, okay, of this actual, you know, funnel here. There's some other stuff to change, but that's pretty much the idea, right? So what we can do now is we can use this little thing called font identifier, and it'll actually tell you what font and size. So it says sans serif, and then the font is 50, and then this size is 18. So let's copy that. So we're going to go here, go to font size, and just type 50. Boom. And then this was 18, which looks already about that. So 18. And then let's see what font this is. So this is 16. And this is 32. Okay, so 16 and 32. So we'll just come here, go to 16. Or excuse me, this is 32. So basically, if you want two different font sizes, you're going to have to make an additional element. So we're going to come here, go to, you can go to subheadline. And if you hear my cat, that's my cat. So then what you're going to do is just paste it here, move this over to the left. And now we've got the other section, because we can't have two different sizes on the actual in one section right here. So delete that, and then we're going to move this up and then just space this out, and then we can go here and then go to 16, which it already is. Okay, so now we're pretty much mapped out. The only thing I'm going to do is just change these fonts just to kind of get everything complete. And we're going to go to Roboto, and then we're going to go here, and we're going to do it again. All right. So now everything is pretty much set. Just going to change the button here, and now we're pretty much good. Okay, so let's preview this, kind of get an idea here. Boom. So there we go. We can, you know, see there's the kind of general frame. Looks pretty good. The only thing missing is obviously this image. So I'm just going to save this image as, and I'm going to paste it right here. So let's go over here. Let's go here. Let's go to upload file. And then I'm just going to copy this GIF. It's going to take a second to upload. But for now, I can just put this placeholder so we can get an idea here. So it should still be uploading while I do other stuff, I think. Let's make sure. Oh, file size exceeded the recommended limit. So, yeah, we'll just leave that for now. But you can kind of see we could just do this as well. I'm going to close this chaos. So we can just screenshot this, and I'll just pick kind of a good thumbnail just for the sake of the demo. So let's see. Right there. So then I can just go here now, and now I can upload that screenshot. So there we go. So obviously it's not a moving image, but you can see that. So now what's missing is obviously this house is in the way. So let's just make this white. Let's delete this. And now we got to change this to black. But you can kind of see it coming together at this point. So we can go color. We can go black. And there we go. Okay. So the other thing is you can see it's formatted a little bit higher. So you'll notice that I kind of moved this up, right? So you can click preview and you'll be able to kind of see it. It's actually pretty good. This is a little bit higher, but the general idea is pretty good, right? So we can make that adjustment and just bold this, and we can move this up just a tiny bit here by just moving this down to maybe 10. So that way there's a little bit more space. Let's see. Okay, so let's move that up. I think I probably don't have any on that other one. So we click save and then preview, and pretty spot on. I think it's a little bit, this one's a little bit lower, but looks good to me. You can make it the exact if you want and kind of find it the exact way to do it. Oh, it looks like it didn't fully, or let's see. If we go here to the rows. Okay, yeah. So we can make this maybe 5. Okay. So that's pretty much it. Now what we need to do, if we want to match it perfectly, we can just change the button color. We could even change the style if you guys like another style of the button here. The one I did on the other page I think was like this. And then it said view case study. Boom. So the real main difference here is just going to be the font. But other than that, it's pretty much the exact same here. So if we go to newbreedagent.com again, sorry I keep closing things. I just don't like when there's a lot of stuff open. You can see it's pretty similar. Okay, the only main difference is the button is a little different. There's obviously a GIF here, and then there's just a gray section here. But that's pretty much how you do it, right? And then you can go here and actually you can add in that little, it's basically just kind of like not a privacy policy. I don't even know what this is actually called, but you can add it here and just move it over to the left. Or you can have it centered, doesn't really matter. But then what I did is you'll notice that the background is a light gray, and I have my blue blockers on, so forgive me if this isn't, the exact gray, but I can go here, and then all I got to do is just make this section the color I want it, which is white. That way it just kind of, makes the whole page below it gray versus like you'll have it gray and then it goes white again. So it looks a little dark compared to this. I think I have my color wheel here. So I can go here and basically see that exact color. And I can add it here. So I just go here, background, add a custom color, and then I can just paste it there. And now we have pretty much a model match other than the GIF and the actual logo and, maybe a little bit on the button. But the idea is pretty much there. And what I can do here is you'll notice on this there's a little border. Let me close that. There's a little border around that, so you can do this as well. And if it was an actual GIF, it would be able to be pretty much there. So we can click preview and, there's pretty much the page. So now you'll notice that this says view case study. So it takes you to the actual landing page, but, I basically just duplicated this. So the only difference here is basically, this was kind of moved a little bit more to the right. And then we have the email field here. So I'll show you how we can add the email field here without an actual, pop-up. So what you would do in GoHighLevel is you go to form and then you're going to create a form in this case. And it's really cool because it's all internal. It's all within the system. So we just click form. So we're just going to do, I think that one just had email. So we'll just do email. And the best way to do it is to just have the button kind of within GoHighLevel because it kind of just makes it easier to submit the form versus adding an external button. So you can add the button to be full width just like that. and then we can, you know, copy the color right here and basically get the exact color. Oops. So we can go here and we can go to this, and then there we go. Let's see if I can get the color. It's like wanting to select it for me. But basically I will just kind of guesstimate that color. Looks pretty spot on over here. So let's see, we can go to the color. So the background in this case. So like I said, I have my blue blockers on, so forgive me if it's not perfect. It's 6:30 a.m. So we got this set up, so that's good now. The only thing we're probably going to need to do is make the width a little bit smaller because it's actually going to go in that section. Okay, so that looks to be good. We go back here, and I think it'll be form, let's see what this form's called, form 11. So there it is. Now we're just going to remove this, and I personally don't like the border around it, so I'm going to remove the border and save it there, and then just kind of save it here and just refresh so we can see what we're working with at this point. So that's better. If we go to our actual model, you'll notice this is a little bit nicer formatted. So we are going to need to move this way. And I think that's probably around the way that I did it, right? And then what we can do is we can do this. So if we go here, I think this is a little bit, okay, cool. So yeah, within high level, we can actually do this little divider. That way it moves the image up and it kind of makes it formatted better. So we can do this transparent, and we can just add this again. So now the only thing is, I would say it needs to be a little wider, because I think that's probably how I have it over there. So we just need to make the email form a little bit wider. So we just go back to our forms, and we're just going to make this, let's try 475. So we're going to go to form saved, save it, and then we're going to refresh it again. And let's just add it here. So we're going to do form, oops. We're going to do form, and then form 11. And that's a little bit better. It may need to just be rounded out at 500. So we'll just save that, and then save it again, click delete, and let's just add it again, and I think we should be good. Yep, that's pretty good, because then we move that like that. Well, let's see. That's like maximum right there. So let's see if we can move this to the, let's see if we could add some padding here. Let's see, let me refresh this here. And I think we could push it over to the right a little bit. So let's see. Okay, cool. So that's how you do that. So we just need to move this like this. Oh, okay, so, oh, there we go. So let's fix this. I don't know how that got that way. So that's pretty, let's see, a little funky with the form itself there. I would say it's like that, like that's the actual spacing on the landing page, just based on eyeing it. So let's see, it's a little bit bigger. almost there. It's just a little bit. Let's see how big this font is again. Make sure that that's good. So it's 16. So we could maybe shrink it just to match it a little bit better. Like I said, there is a little bit of a difference just in the high level builder. So maybe we can do something like that. And let's see what happens if I remove those. Okay, so I need that there. So that's pretty good in my eyes. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. Let's see. So that looks good. Let's maybe make this a little bit smaller. That's too small. 16. Yeah, that's pretty good. And then I would just say, since this is a little bit, high or lower, it makes it a little lower. I would just see if we could move this up and move this up. Just kind of, make it a little bit higher up on the page. Move that to 5. I think that's going to make it look a lot better. Still a little bit, not necessarily off-centered, but just, I think you know what I'm saying, where it's a little bit, not perfectly in line here. Let's see if I can mess with it a little bit more. Okay, so that moves it to the right. That moves it this way. So yeah, there's just a little space here, but it's not really a big deal. No one's going to notice probably other than me. But basically, we have our page now. So if we go to newbreedagent.com and we go to case studies, you can see we've got a pretty nice and similar page. It obviously says different headline, but the general idea is pretty much the same. And then basically what we're going to do is go to our pop-up, remove that since we no longer need it. So we're going to disable the pop-up here and basically, publish the page. So now we have part 1, right? And I know it's been a little bit of a long time at this point, but I just want to show you how you can actually build this stuff if you don't know how to build it. If you already know how to do it, then you could skip ahead, but there's a lot of people that don't know how to build this, don't know how to kind of make changes, make corrections, and kind of do things like that. So I wanted to show them. So the other thing we can do is we could actually remove this. So then I think that's going to give us some more help on this page. So if we go to form, we go to edit, we can click on this and then remove the, I think on labels right here. Boom. So that should help. And we can view it here and we should get a little bit of help there. Yeah. So that's pretty good in terms of modeling it, right? It's pretty good. So only thing different is, like I said, just the font. And I'm actually noticing now that this, right, is not there. So I can remove that and I think we're going to have it pretty much a model match. Okay, so we're going to go to edit page and then we're going to go to delete. And I think we're good right there. Now it's actually a little bit too low, but I think we can move this up and it should be good. So let's see. Get that right there. And I think because, just the way the builder is, that it's a little bit low. I'd probably just leave it like that at this point and just save it. So that's basically a long step 1, right? But if you don't know how to build a landing page or have any sort of understanding, then it's probably helpful. So now, in order to build out the automation, we're going to go to automation and we're going to go to create workflow. So we're going to click start from scratch and then we're going to click create. So now what we're going to do is, let's say we're running ads to this case study or this landing page for the client. Now what we're going to do is add our workflow trigger. So what we're going to do is we're going to build out a trigger that basically says, you know, when the form is submitted, send these emails and send these texts, right? So I'm just going to walk you simply through it since it is pretty easy. So we're just going to type form submitted, and then we're going to go here to workflow trigger, and we're going to choose form. And then we're going to click on filters, form is, and then we're going to choose our form so that if you're running multiple landing pages that, you know, you're linking up the proper form to this automation. And you can add multiples. So let's say you have 2 funnels and you are, you have 2 funnels and you're running, ads to both of them. You can select multiple form fields, I believe. So I think you would have to do it as a separate trigger like this. You would just do form submitted since that would have been a conditional, but you would just do form is 11 or form 2, right? That's basically how that would work. So you'd have form 11 and form 2 is all routing into this automation. So we're just going to delete this since that's not the one we're using. So we just come here, click delete. And now we have form 11. So we've got our step 1. Now we're going to click plus, and we're going to click on a condition. So this is what I like to do first. So it's if and else. And so basically we're going to do contact details. Okay, so we're going to basically go to contact details, and then we're going to do a tag. Okay. So the tag is going to include, and then we would do, for example, booked call or something like that. Like let's say that the lead, fills out a form and then they book in a call. Then we want to make sure we know that, this follow-up is only going to people that didn't book a call, or that we do distinguish between people that book and don't book. Right? So what you would do is you would click on this tag here. So the way you actually create the tag, let me publish this so that it's, we can view it easy later. So May 12th, 2022. So I'm going to click save, and I'm just going to publish that, right? So basically the way that would work is if you go to settings and then you go to tags, you can create a new tag and then booked appointment. And then basically another workflow would be, when a lead books an appointment, add a tag, right? So you'll see how I do all this. So basically we're going to run this condition of did somebody book a call, right? And I'll show you how to actually do this, but for now we're going to just do this. So I basically do it this way, and you can do it however you want, but I'm just going to do email 1. So they're going to get email 1 just for like signing up, right? Even if they did book a call, we want to make sure that there's at least one touch that they get, right? So you could put your email here, put your name, your email, your subject line, and then the actual message. You can add images and all kinds of stuff like that, and just click save. So now when somebody clicks the form or fills the form out, they're going to automatically get this email, and it's automatic because there's no time condition here. So if you wanted to add a time condition like a wait, it's called, you would do wait, 4 minutes or 5 minutes or 1 hour, right? But you want to have something instantaneously that the lead gets for filling out their info. So I recommend just 1 email and then 1 text. You could do 2 emails, but I just recommend 1 just for the sake of just, keeping it simple. So we would just do this. So now the lead fills out the form and they get an instant email, they get an instant text, and then I like to do a wait. So a wait condition for, let's just say, 10 minutes. And the reason we do this is because, let's say a lead fills out a form. Most leads are going to fill out the form and book pretty much immediately, but there are some cases where, if you have the form submitted immediately after, let's say the lead fills out the form. By the time they book the appointment, it takes, an extra 2 minutes. They're going to get, those next set of emails or text, and it'll be too fast. So we want to make sure we give enough time for it to run the condition. So we like to do wait 10 minutes and just click save action. And now basically the form gets submitted, client or the lead gets an email, the lead gets a text, and then it waits 10 minutes, and then it runs the condition of did they book. And if they did book, then you would probably leave this blank, right? Because I like to build the automations separately. I think if you have too many all built together, it can make it complex. So you would build a separate automation for if somebody books and they get a series of emails or texts. That way, if there's any ever issues with the automation, you don't have to change the entire thing. You just go to that specific one, and realistically, you only need 2 or 3, workflows. So I leave these blank, and then what we do here is we go to no. So if they didn't book a call, then they get an email, another email. So I'm going to call this email number 2, and I'm just going to fill in the places I need to. And then they're going to get a text, right? And then that could just say whatever it needs to say. Hey, you checked out our ad, wanted to follow up, didn't hear back, et cetera, et cetera. And then all I like to do is just duplicate this entire string. So I'm just going to name this wait for 10 minutes so we know kind of how long this is. So we just click save here. And then we do the condition. So did lead book a call? And then yes, they did. Nothing happens. No, they didn't. Then send this email. And then all we got to do is just click right here and click copy, and then all actions from here. And then you just copy it here. So you just click right there, and now it runs another condition. And then if you're just getting started, you could edit it one by one and just go here, do email 3, and then do email 3, and then do email 3, and then do SMS, number 3, and then you can do SMS number 3 here. And you can go one by one and just duplicate one, I would just call this one kind of condition. Or if you kind of want to, not necessarily, I wouldn't say it's be more advanced, but what I kind of do is at this point I'll basically just go through here and build out like 2 of these like that, and then I would just copy all actions from here again, copy it there, and then now I can just do it again, copy here, copy all actions from here, and then paste it. And now you've got a nice workflow. You still need to edit them, so you have 2, 3, so you need to edit this, right? So this would be email 4. I'm not going to edit all this just because it doesn't affect this. So you would do this, okay, SMS 4. Then you would do this, email number 5, and so on, right? And you just keep going until you have, I would say, something impressive that you can kind of present to your client. If you just have one, it's not really a big deal. But if you can make, something like this, they're going to be like, whoa, this is cool, right? So the only thing here that you're going to need to change, and I'm going to do it after I just edit this last one. So I'm going to just go to 7, and I'm going to just delete the rest just because of, it's an example here. So I'm just going to click yes. So we've got our 7 automations, right? So now the only thing that's missing, right, is that, okay, cool, this keeps running a condition, but technically it's just going to happen instantaneously, right? So what you want to do is think about how long you want to wait, right? So what you can do is, did lead book a call? No, right? So this probably is going to be, this from right here to right here is basically within 10 minutes of the lead booking a call. So they're going to get a email, they're going to get a text, it's going to wait 10 minutes, they're going to get another email, say, hey, we noticed you didn't book a call, etc., etc., and then a text, hey, we noticed you didn't book a call. This is right when the lead has just filled it out, so you can kind of get away with sending 4 different touch points here. But after that, it's just going to become, it's not really going to be the way you want to position your client. So what we're going to do is now we're going to do a condition, right? So after, this first day, right, these first 10 minutes, we have 4 touches. Now what we want to do is add a wait. So we're going to do a wait, and let's just say 2 days later, we want to reach out and run that condition. So now, just for the sake of labeling it, wait 2 days. Save action, and now you can kind of think about, okay, well, when do I want these to go out? So now lead fills out the form, they get an email, get a text, the automation waits for 10 minutes. Did they book a call? Nope. All right, another email, another text. Now it's waiting. So someone's in the queue, they're waiting 2 days. Did they book a call yet? Nope. Okay, cool, more emails. And then the same automation goes. Wait. Okay, let's, now it's been a few times we've already reached out. Let's wait another 2 days. So now we're reaching out to them automatically, 2 to 3 times a week, depending on how you design it, right? So now wait 2 days. And now let's say that you want to say, okay, well, let's do it for a little bit longer now. So now waits 2 days. Come here, go to wait, and now you say, okay, well, now let's wait 4 days, right? Boom, save action, save. And I don't have any data here about how long and all this. I usually just kind of, use my common sense to say, okay, well, I'm just going to wait every few days. I think if you wait weeks, it could be too long. After a certain amount of emails, then I would just put them, on a certain, I would spread it out a lot longer. But I would say within your first 10 to 15 emails, I would try to get those in within, 2 to 3 months. And it's a lot of emails, but, that's when you could really educate them. They just inquired, and if they do open the email and then they do see the text, but they're not booking, at least they're potentially watching content or something like that, kind of getting more familiar with the business or whatever it is. And then once you get past those, 15 emails or whatever it is, I'm just going to use this one as the example. You just go wait, and then maybe you just do, 15 days from now. And now they're more on a longer term drip. Or you could just do, you can click plus. So you could do it in here, or you could say workflow. So you could remove them like from this workflow, right? And then you could add them to another workflow where you build out basically a repeated version of this with different emails, right? Then you would do add to workflow, and I would just choose that one for the sake of example, right? But I hope this was helpful. I know it was a little bit long, but if you're just starting out, you don't know any of this stuff. So I wanted to make sure that, people have enough information to go out and do this, get your first client, even do a demo, just show them. You can even use this, you can comment below, and I can give you this automation, which is cool with GoHighLevel. And it just goes into your account, and you can, just put a template here. But if your niche is like, real estate agents or solar or, some other industry, you can basically go to them, say, hey, look, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to build you a landing page, right? And you can just, you don't have to show them the actual landing page. You could just show them on, I use Figma. So you can go to Figma. It's a free tool. and say, hey, look, I'm gonna build this for you, right? So we're gonna run some ads. We're gonna run, to a landing page, and then you can just make something like this where it shows them, and you could show them this since there's no real, you don't have to go in each email. But one of the things I've learned is if you show someone kind of the landing page or whatever it is, they'll start to like critique it and, oh, I don't like this. So you don't want to like show them that stuff. You could just say, look, here's what we're going to do. We're going to build you a funnel, build some ads, get people, inquiring. And then we're going to build, I already have this built out. I just need your deposit, and I can, make this custom to you, but I already have this automation for, that goes out for 6 months, and you're going to get a lot more customers from it. So, that would be how I would kind of present it to them. Just tell them, like I said, that, hey, look, we can build you a funnel, get you names and emails and phone numbers, and on top of it, we'll do all this follow-up for you so that you don't have to worry about it. And, people will be impressed by this because they're like, whoa, like, you could tell them how it works. So basically, if the lead books a call, then it won't send them these emails, or you could do another thing. So if they did book a call, you can add them to a different workflow, right? And then that would be, this one or whatever. A lot of cool stuff you can do here, guys. You just got to see the potential, and then you'll know, oh, wow, I could really sell this to people. So the other thing I wanted to show you, or that I told you I would show you, is how to create that tag for the calendar. So you just create another workflow, and then it's super easy. Just booked appointment here, and then since the calendar you'll be using is within GoHighLevel, you just do customer booked appointment, and then you would just do tag, and then add contact tag, and then you just choose it right there, booked appointment. So that's a separate isolated workflow. So basically whenever there's a booked appointment, it adds them that tag, and then based on how we built the other automation, it's going to always run that condition, every whatever time period you set. And if it ran that period, then, it's going to continue to, if it runs that condition and the lead didn't book a call, then they'll keep getting this nurture follow-up. And if they did book a call, then you could add them to a workflow or just leave it blank. There's all kinds of stuff you could do. So hopefully that helped you learn just kind of how you can build a landing page, how you can, create some really, really valuable stuff for potential customers, how to create automation, SMS and email automation. If you want that workflow, comment down below. I'll figure out a way to get it to you. And like I said, I hope this was valuable. Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.